tenemos que hacer el siembro de nuestra planta.
To start, we have to do the sowing of our plant. For that, we have to disinfect the soil and have the plant ready to transplant it. Then we transplant it in the course of 2 months. We have to make a hang-up. The hang-up is done with a rope.
Es una planta que debemos...
It is a plant that we must know how to treat in order to have a better harvest.
Es una planta...
Here we have the harvest. The plant starts to produce more or less at 5 months here in this territory.
Aquí en este territorio, en este clima, es una planta de clima.
In this climate, it is a plant of medium climate.
Observar que las plantas...
Cold climate, we can observe that the plants are for these climates.
Un cultivo limpio.
It is a clean crop that we are treating because it is an export crop.
Por lo tanto, debemos...
Therefore, we must take it in clean crop. The clean crop is treated with chemicals that are authorized by the engineer who gives us
por la ingeniera que nos hace la...
technical assistance here in this crop. For this, we must keep our crops pruned.
Bajitos de...
We must use a scythe to cut the grass. We must do the plant's leaves.
Debemos hacer el plateo.
The plant must live without these leaves. It must be sucked
Hojitas, estar hecho...
so that it gives us a better harvest and the crop thickens.
Nos engruece, nos dé mejor producción.
Gives us better production. We must maintain the plant. It must be sucked as the suckers come out more or less every 20 days.
Cada mes.
Every month we must be sucking the plant.
Tenemos un sistema.
We have a system.
Hay tiempos.
There are different times here in our region.
Tenemos tiempo.
Like for example, we have dry weather and rainy weather.
No debemos.
In rainy weather, we must not wet the plant.
En el tiempo de...
In dry weather, we must use an irrigation system called drip.
De riego que se llama...
We have to do it with water. It is called metia.
Tenemos que hacer...
That is to say that with the hose, we must wet the whole site and the plate of the plant.
Mojar toda la...
We must do it 2 or 3 times a week.
Debemos hacerlo 2 o 3 veces en la semana porque la planta se seca.
Because the plant dries out and our production drops.
La fruta se nos...
The fruit becomes smaller, so we must maintain the humidity.
Esta planta debe...
This plant usually consumes a lot of water.
Tener el agua en la...
Then we must have water on the farm to cultivate it.
Luego acá,
we are going to invite you to continue looking at our crop
para poder nosotros
for us to be able to export this fruit.
Tener la finca.
We must have the farm registered under the ICA registry. This registry
implica
many obligations, but as we are judicious producers,
una mejor,
and to make a better recommendation to take a very good product abroad, we must register it.
Para este registro
For this registry, we must take into account many things.
Debe estar bien cuidado.
The crop must be well cared for. We must maintain it with what the registry requires.
Los centros de acopio.
We must maintain our collection centers that we are now. We must have the traps that retain the flies.
Las moscas retienen
retain
las
the weeds
malezas
that
que
come
llegan
to
a
our
nuestro
crop.
cultivo. Este cultivo debemos llevarlo.
We must treat this crop well because it also receives the pests that affect the crop.
Que nos afectan al cultivo, por lo tanto.
So we must be careful with that.
Bueno, aquí tenemos.
Well, here we have one of the main diseases that affects the Cape gooseberry crop.
Esta es la enfermedad que tenemos
This is the best known disease we have, known as Fusarium.
Empieza a amarillarse.
The plant begins to yellow, and for this we do not have a chemical or a medicine that can improve the plant.
Pueda mejorar la planta, por lo tanto, ya esta planta.
Therefore, this plant is sick. As we can see, we are going to leave it alone because it is one of the diseases that mainly affects the Cape gooseberry crop. Fusarium in Cape gooseberries.
En la uchua. Bueno, ¿y cuál es el?
Well, what is Fusarium?
Es un hongo que nos afecta.
Fusarium is a fungus that affects the plant very much. Therefore, this plant is already affected. We should leave it there still. We should not touch it.
Procuramos dejarla encerradita.
We try to leave it enclosed because if we are going to remove the plant from the crop,
Tenemos el problema de
we have the problem of it infecting the rest of the crop.
cultivo. Por lo tanto,
Therefore, we invite the growers of our municipality, of our region,
que tengamos
to take into account that this is a disease that attacks the crop a lot.
enseñarlos si es
So teach them, explain and advise them that the plant should be left still there inside the crop so that it does not affect the whole crop.
terminar ya la planta
In the end, the plant ends up with this color.
termina en un color café.
It ends with a brown color. There, the plant ends its period of existence.
Pero ahí debemos
But we must leave it there. When we are going to remove it, we only have to lower it.
las hojas y la debemos
We must leave it there inside the crop.
dentro del cultivo colocarle
Put some lime on it to disinfect the soil.
la tierra. Entonces ahí
Then it must be left still and put the lime on it,
que es el
which is a chemical that can help us with the most in this problem of Fusarium on the farm.
del Fusarium en la finca.
It must be left there still
Y sobre
and on the floor where it was.
el piso donde estaba debemos
We must put the lime on it so that the bacteria does not continue to spread over the whole crop.
sobre todo el cultivo. Ahí
Then the period of lack of Fusarium ends.
Tengo 2,000.
I have 2,000 Cape gooseberry planted.
Lo que nos exige la
This is the process that the company requires us, the collector, to be able to export.
pintona.
It is necessary to take the fruit that is between ripe pintona and take it from the tip and remove the top. It is cut with scissors so as not to mistreat it. Where the fruit is mistreated, the exporter does not accept it because it bruises.
No la pasan para exportación y quedaría para un mercado nacional.
In the national market, this fruit is very cheap.
Muy económica. No dan los costos.
They do not give the cost for the sale of the national market.
Tiene que estar
That is why one has to be advised with an exporter or a group to be able to export it
poder.
and have better income.
Y
As you can see,
todas estas matas están
every 8 days to be able to export it,
para poderla exportar. Ellas van madurando.
they are ripening, and only the ripe and the ripe,
La seca
the dry, the small, the regular one is taken out, and it is taken here apart for the national market.
para lo que para la exportación. Entonces solo aquí se echa
This one is not exported,
buena y en este
only the
lonita
good
va uno
one is
escogiendo la
taken
que
here. And in this tarp, one chooses the one that is left for the national market. This one is used for consumption here in the house.
en otras que en otros la consumimos aquí en la casa para hacer jugo para algo otra
To make juice or for any other type of commerce.
En tiempo de verano toca
In the summertime, it is necessary to spray the nose. So we spray it with a hose to avoid wasting water.
rinde más con la manguera.
So it yields more. Every 8 days we spray it. Every 8 days or every third day when it is very sunny.
Y en el sistema de
And in the fumigation system, we use the products that the technicians recommends us.
los técnicos, cada 8 días, cada 15 días.
Every 8 days, every 15 days, they send to fumigate. And when it is possible, every 15 days to fumigate them, or if not, it is necessary every 20 days, because it is necessary to have 7 or 8 days of lac, and that the remedy does not have the lac to take the fruit.
Bueno, también explicarles.
Well, I also want to explain that here within the crop, apart from the fungi and bacteria, there are also some pests that may be affecting our crops, which we must control and attack them.
Por eso tenemos aquí la trampa.
That is why we have here the trap that attacks the pests, that is called the fly in the crop. In this trap, we have a chemical that is attractive to this pest that affects us.
Esta plaga que nos afecta. Despedirnos.
We say goodbye and invite you to visit us.
Nos estén visitando para
to enjoy these delicious Cape gooseberries that we have here in Chipaque.
que tenemos aquí en Chipaque, Cundinamarca.
Cundinamarca, you can contact us by phone 313-438-0175, and here we wait for you to learn more about our crop. Thank you very much, and until next time.
Y en una próxima ocasión.